After the meeting with Stan Lee and the executive was over, Stan left, and I had arranged to stay and talk to my executive about this new project that I wanted to give him first shot at, because I had been sitting on Zootopia for a number of years, and now I was taking it out. And I am not an animation specialist. I'm an action movie, fantasy, science fiction specialist. And so I had contrived a very special project, like in the style of Space Jam and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so that I could have a chance to work in animation as well, because it had always been a big love of mine. And I stayed afterwards and I talked to my executive and I told him about my project, and I pitched him the movie frame story. And he says, let me stop you right there. We're not interested in that. And I said, oh God, I deflated. I said, but listen, I also have the cartoon series that I created for inside of this movie. Like the Looney Tunes that I invented for inside of Space Jam. And he said, okay, well, what's that? And I told him about it. I told him about Zootopia. I had a portfolio, and in the portfolio were 9 drawings of my main characters, and a treatment that described all the characters, some teasers for the Zootopia parts, a teaser for the frame story, a treatment for the frame story. He looked at it, he said, okay, well, what do you want from me? And I said, well, I thought maybe you know some people on the animation side of Disney who might be interested in this. This is the first time I've ever offered my cartoon series without the movie to go along with it. And he looked at the drawings and he said, oh, these are, he seemed very happy with them. And he said, okay, there's just one problem. Again, I got, oh God, now what's the problem this time? And he says, I know the kind of money that we're paying you to work on features. They don't pay that kind of money in animation. And I don't want to go to a lot of trouble and obligate myself to these people and ask a favor of them, and then and they say, yes, they like it. And then I have to come back to you and you say, no, I don't want to do it because the money isn't good enough. So before I do this, Gary, think about it and make sure you're willing to, you understand the terms and that you want me to go ahead and do it. And I thought about it, and I thought about how Zootopia could live forever and ever, with sequels and TV series and merchandising and theme parks. And I realized, okay, I don't care about the money up front. Please submit it. And he took my portfolio from my hands and said that he would do that. And we shook hands and said goodbye, and and that was the end of the meeting.